ओके, हे पुस्तक नाही आलं का? हा मॅडम. हा मॅडम. Managing interpersonal and group process HRB 303. See the syllabus. Some unit first one, groups information and development and their impact on organizational process, personal and group process HRB 203. See the syllabus. Some unit first one, groups information and development, their impact on organizational process. 1.0 introduction, unit objectives. 1.2 group of their information in organization. 1.3 types of groups and their characteristics. 1.4 group structures and norms and control system. 1.5 intra-group and process. 1.6 impact of a group working. Objectives. 1.2 group of their information organization. 1.3 types of groups and their characteristics. 1.4 group structures and norms and control system. 1.5 intra-group and process. 1.6 impact of a group working on organizational outcomes. 1.7 summary, 1.8 key terms and 1.9 question and exercise, 1.10 further reading and references. On organizational outcomes. 1.7 summary, 1.8 key terms and 1.9 question and exercise, 1.10 further reading and a reference. Unit second thing, groups dynamics 2.0 introductions, 2.1 unit objectives, 2.2 group and their formation in organization, 2.3 types of groups and their characteristics, and 2.4 group structures, norms and control systems. 2.5 second thing, groups dynamics 2.0 introductions, 2.1 unit objectives, 2.2 group and their formation in organization, 2.3 types of groups and their characteristics, and 2.4 group structures, norms and control systems. 2.5 intergroup process, and 2.6 impact of a group working on organizational outcomes, and 2.7 summary, and 2.8 key terms and 2.9 question and exercise, 2.10 further reading and references. Intergroup process and 2.6 impact of the group working on organizational outcomes, and 2.7 summary, and 2.8 key and 2.9 questions and exercise, 2.10 further reading and references. Internal process, unit 3. Introductions 3.1 unit objectives, 3.2 communication, main interpersonal processes and its influence on a outcome. 3.3 interpersonal process and their influence on outcome. 3. Internal process. Unit 3. Introduction 3.1 unit objectives 3.2 communication in interpersonal processes and its influence on a outcome. 3.3 interpersonal process and their influence on outcome. 3. Factors impacting communication effectiveness or in organization. 3.5 management of interpersonal communication within an organization and within a terms, and 3.6 summary, and 3.7 key terms, and 3 oh, communication effectiveness or in organization. 3.5 management of interpersonal communication within organization. Thank you. Organizational power and influence in organization. 4.0 introductions. 4.1 unit objectives, and 4.2 power in organization and their use for a control and a functioning. 4.3 functional in impact of power and influence in a organization. 4.4 influence process in organizations. 4.5 summary, and 4.6 key terms, and 4.7 question and exercise. 4.8 further reading and references. Organizational culture and its change. 5.0 introductions. 5.1 unit objectives. 5.2 organization cultural system, and 5.3 national cultural and its impact on organizational culture. 5.4 formation of cultural and in organization. 5.5 influence of organizational cultural on various organizational process. 5.6 summary, and 5.7 key terms. 5.8 questions and exercise. 5.9 further reading and references. Unit 6 managing interpersonal and a group process for organizational change and development. 6.0 introduction. 6.1 unit objectives. 6.2 theories of organizational change, and 6.3 stage of a successful change, and 6.4 group change, and 6.5 organizational change and methods of organizational change. 6.6 summary, and 6.7 key terms, and 6.8 question and exercise, and 6.9 further reading and references. Group decision making. 7. 7.0 introduction. 7.1 unit objective. 7.2 group discussion decision making, its advantage and disadvantage, and 7.3 techniques and for group decision making, and 7.4 individual ones group and decision making. 7.5 summary, and 7.6 key terms, and 7.7 question and exercise. 7.8 further reading and references. Unit 8 intergroup conflict and their resolutions. 8.0 introduction. 8.1 unit objectives. 8.2 conflict and their sources. 8.3 types of conflicts and their classifications. 8.4 consequences of a conflict. 8.5 management of conflict and styles of conflict resolutions. 8.6 summary. 8.7 key term. 8.8 question and exercise. 8.9 further reading and references. Unit 9 managing group process and in organizations with and diversities and working in an international environment. 9.0 introduction. 9.1 unit objectives. 9.2 diversity in the workplace, benefits, challenges and its management. 9.3 challenges in a managing centration differences. 9.4 summary and 9.5 key terms and 9.6 question and exercise. 9.7 further reading and references. Unit 1 groups formations, development and their impact on organizational processes. Structure. First one, introductions, unit objectives, group and their information in organization. 1.3 types of group and their characteristics, and 1.4 group structures, norms and control system, and 1.5 intra-group processes, and 1.6 impact of group working on organizational outcomes. 1.7 summary, 1.8 key terms and 1.9 question and exercise, and 1.10 further reading and references. Introductions. Organizations are 1.0 introductions. Please see the introductions, knowing about this chapter. Organization are a formal and when two or more people work together and towards some common objectives. Therefore, you will find that working together for a common goal is absolutely essential. And when we work in any organization or company, working in groups and making it easier and to achieve our objectives, but simultaneously it also leads into various complications. And when we work in a group, the successes or a failure of any organization is largely dependent upon the efficiency of working of people in the organization in groups. Thus, group processes and their evolution and related theory and practices are of great importance for the organizations in the area of liberalization and globalizations, and with the advancements in information technology, IT, and world has become a village. Working with people and from the various regions and nations and mindsets is a imperative. Management and employees need to understand and have a skills and to work in a group and improve synergy in a group. And this world would be possible if we develop skill and to manage group and processes and within the group formation, development of groups and their impact on the organizational groups processes is fundamental in understanding the basics of a group and processes. Unit 1.1 unit objectives, groups formations, development and their impact on organizational processes. The main objectives of this unit is the help and you to understand the need and importance group and processes and their impact on performances of firms and how these groups are evaluated in any organization. Notes. After reading this unit, you should be able to, and first one, describe concept and a definition related to foundation formation of groups. Second thing, understand how these groups are developed and how groups within an organization can be managed, and describe the impact and their implications in various processes and within the organization and their linkage with the performance of a organization. Group and their formation in organization. We define a group has two or more individuals and interacting and interdependent and who have come together to achieve particular common objectives. Group can range in size from two members and to thousands of members. Very small collectives such as days, uh, two members and trails and three members are groups, but so are very large collections of people such as mobs, crowds, and congenerations. Cement 1902. In organizational setting and group are a common um, organ organizational component and the study in an organizational settings and groups are a common organizational component and study of groups and group dynamics is an important area of study in organizational behavior. Group dynamics refers unto the attitudinal and behavioral characteristics of a group. Group dynamics concerns how groups form their structure and process and how they function. There are several and theories as to why groups develop, and the most common framework for examining and the how of group formations was developed by Brew and Stackman 1965. In essence, and the steps in group formations imply and that groups do not usually uh, perform at a maximum effectiveness. When they are first established, they encounter several stages of development, and during the course of development and then become productive and effective. Most groups experience at the same developmental stages and with similar conflicts and resolutions. According to Tupman's and theory, there are five stages of groups and development: forming and storming and norming, performing and adjourning. During these stages, group members and must addresses several issues, and the way in which these issues are resolved determines and whether the group will succeed in accomplish its tasks. Stages of group development: forming, storming, and norming, and performing, adjusting. The five-stage model, as shown and below, uh, in a figure 1, and the five-stage group development model and characteristics groups as a proceedings and through the distinct stage of a forming and storming, norming and performing and adjourning. The first stage, forming stage, faces great amount of uncertainty about the groups and purpose, structure, and leadership amongst the members of the group. And members test the waters and to determine that types of behaviors are acceptable. And this stage is a complete, and when members have begun to think of themselves as part of a group. The storming stage is one of intra-group and conflict. Members accept the existence of the group but resist the concentrate it imposes. Uh, Taste the water and to determine what types of behaviors are acceptable. And this stage is a complete, and when members have begun to think of themselves as part of a group. The storming stage is the storming stage one. The storming stage is one of the intra-group and conflict members accept the existence of the group but resist all the constraints in a imposes on a individually. There are is a conflict over who will control the group, and when this stage is complete, and there will be a relatively uh, clearly hierarchy of a leadership and within the group. In the third stage, norming, close relationships evolve, evolve and the group developers, and otherwise there is now a strong sense of a group identity and a characterize. This norming stage is complete, and when the group structures and solidifies, and the group has assimilated a common set of expectations of what defines correct behavior of a members. And the fourth stage is a performing. The structures are at the point is a fully functional and accepted. Group emergency. Group emergency has a mood uh, from getting to know and understand each other to performing the task at a hand. For permanent work groups, Performing is the last stage in the development. However, mm, for temporary committees, terms, tasks, and forces, and a similar groups, and that have a limited task to perform, and the adjourning stage is of a wrapping app activities and preparing to disband. disband. And some group members are a bit basking basking in the group accomplishment. Other may be depressed over the loss of a camaraderie and friendship gained during the work group's life. Many interpreters of the five-stage model have assumed a group because becomes more effective as it processes and through the first four stage. Although this may be generally true, what makes a group effective is actually more complex. And first groups proceed through the stages of group development at a different rates, and those with a strong sense of a purpose and a strategy rapidly achieve high performances and improve over time, and where areas those with less sense of a purpose. Groups formation and development and their impact of organizational process actually see their performances were same over time. Similarly, groups that begin with positive social. One minute, wait. Actually see their performance version over time, and similarly groups that begin with a positive social focus and appear to achieve the performing stage more rapidly, and nor do groups always proceed clearly from one stage onto the next. Storming and performing can occur simultaneously, and groups can even regress onto previous stages. Uh, Other theories of group development. Other theories, uh, such as the classic theory developed by George uh, Homans, and suggests and that groups develop based on activities, interaction, interaction and sentiments. Basically, and the theory means that when individual mm, individuals share common activities, and they will have more interaction and will develop attitudes, positive or negative towards each other. The major component component of this theory is the interaction of the individuals in the group, and social exchange and theory offers an alternative explanation for group development according to the this theory. An individuals form a relationship based on the impact um, assumptions for mutually beneficial exchanges based on trust and felt obligations, and thus perceptions and that exchange relationship will be positive and is essential if individuals are to be attached to the to an uh, affiliate with a group. Social identity theory offers another explanations for group formations, and this theory suggests that individuals get a sense of identity and self-esteem based upon their membership in the groups. The nature of the group may be demographically based, culturally based, on organizationally based. Individual are motivated to belong to and contribute to identity of groups because of the sense of belonging belongingness and um, self worth the membership in the group gives to them. 1.3 types of groups and their characteristics.
uh,
Types of groups and their characteristics. One most common way to classify groups in a formal or informal in a
uh,
nature. Formal work groups are created by the organization to achieve organizational goals, and these groups are defined based on certain uh, parameters unto the or the boundaries in a formal way. Example: sales department, HR department, south regions, etc. Formal group may take the form of command groups and task groups and functional groups, and the organization structure in most of the time defined and formal group with a designated work assignment.
uh, mm, uh, uh, mm,
Sorry. Other theories of group development, other theories such as the classic theory developed by George Humans suggest that groups developed based on activities, interactions, and sentiments. Basically, the theory means that when individuals share common activities and they will have more interaction and will develop attitudes, positive or negative, towards each other. The major component of this theory is the interactions in the group and social exchange.